So do I.
Hi, everybody. It's chilly out here.
I could tell. What's the temperature?
I think it's about 50 something.
Well, it's
And
Memorial Day
yesterday it
weekend.
was overcast all day, and then real late in the day, the sun came out.
I forget what day it is. Yesterday it was beautiful. Saturday was a little chilly, but later on in the day the sun came out. Today it's like 84. It's beautiful outside. But
Right?
when I got back from Europe last week, it was cold. And
Yeah,
Europe was cold for the first 4 or 5 days. Then it warmed up. But
yeah.
it was a wonderful trip. But right before the show, I was just commenting that we have people watching us from all over the world. Colombia, Peru, Romania, Russia, Ukraine, uh, Sweden, you said, all over.
All over. It's
And
wonderful.
even,
Germany,
and even a few from Venezuela.
great. But Russia, I was very surprised.
Well, I spread your name all over Europe. I put your name on bathroom walls.
For a good time call.
For a good time watch, Linda and Mel on YouTube. Anyway, a lot of people were asking for cards, and we had a great time on the trip. I want to say hello real quick to Naomi, Clarice, Patty, Kim, and Mary F. Naomi, Clarice, Kim, and Mary F. are in Hawaii. And Mary wasn't on the trip, but the other ones were. And one night we put together a little hula show for everybody to watch. And before the trip was over, everybody was like, "We want to be with that Mel group because they're having fun." So it was
Oh, that's great.
I
So
was tired.
listen, have you talked to Andrew Nikki?
I haven't. And you know what? That's my thing. I'll contact him tomorrow because
I've tried to contacting him 3 times and he hasn't gotten back to me. Is he okay?
I think he's in Europe and the time difference is
He's
like,
still in Europe, but he used to contact me right away, even when he was in Europe.
I'll contact him. I haven't heard from him. Um,
I hope he's okay.
I intuit that he is, but I will contact him anyway. We'll both, we'll say, "Hey, sir, what's wrong with you?" Teasing.
Yeah. Wake
Uh,
up and go to sleep,
there you go.
like the Three Stooges used to say.
His
I wanted to
product
also
photo.
tell people I got Joy Harjo's CD,
Yes.
and it's Insomnia and Seven Steps to Grace. I was going to listen to it this weekend, but I was so busy cooking and cleaning that I'll listen to it today. I actually have today off.
She's incredible, actually.
She's
Uh,
extremely brilliant.
oh, her poems are and poet laureate. Her poems are incredible.
Well, when she would read at our events, she did fantastic job.
She's a talented writer, very smart, and a genuinely good human being.
She's
She
really good. I like her husband too.
yeah, her husband Owen is wonderful as well.
He looks
Unlike
like
Linda
an
and I.
actor. He looks like an actor. He's
He
got
does.
that look.
Unlike Linda and I, no, I'm teasing.
Well, people were upset when they found out I showed up at your thing with sunglasses and entourage and people fanning me. And I was big Hollywood. No, I'm just kidding.
They really love those 12 guys, six on each side, muscle men carrying that sedan chair that thing you were sitting on.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
It
what
was,
I'm talking
it
about,
was
right?
like Cleopatra making the royal entrance.
And then they got to see our real side. You know what I'm saying?
And then they got to see
It
what we really.
reminds me of the funniest thing I ever heard Robin Williams say. He was on a show. I think it was the Craig Ferguson show. And Craig said, "Can I ask you a question and will you be totally honest?" And Robin came right back, 8 inches.
I saw that. I cracked up. That was a riot.
Oh, that's hysterical.
It's like when I got back from overseas, I sent Linda a message. I said, "I missed you." And she answered back, I didn't miss you one bit. One bit. And my
I give
response,
you a bad time, I give my friend Daniel a bad time. He
and my
was,
response,
he's recovering from his arm, his surgery. And he went into details of his PT and everything. I said, yeah, right. Okay. So we got those exciting details out of the way. Oh my God, he busted out laughing.
the funniest one's when I woke up from the colon surgery and you called me and you said, "Did they remove your penis?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, let me check."
You said they took a ton of stuff. And I said, oh, you better check and make sure they didn't accidentally cut off your Yes.
I said, let me check.
So Andrew,
And
if
I
you're
said,
out
no, it's
there, you
still
need to get
there.
a hold of us. So I turned my another girlfriend onto his product, and I didn't go through him because the problem when you go through him, sometimes he'll pick it up instead of letting you pay.
I know.
I got her the little packet to start, and she absolutely loves it.
It's incredible. It makes great gifts as well.
Yeah,
So everybody, check it out.
yeah.
I'm going to give my members, he's offered to give them one free set of Androniki product a month to my members. So we'll do
I
the
don't know how
drawing
he
next week.
makes money. He gives away so much.
He does. He's a really nice guy. So,
So,
all right.
okay,
I
well,
have
thank you
questions.
guys for the questions. Did
Yeah,
you get any questions yourself?
I did. I got
Why don't you
70.
start off since you're the guest on the show?
Okay. Um, Lulu and Mew. I like that.
I
Lulu,
like Lulu. Oh, that reminds me of my baby.
doesn't it?
Did
Hi,
you
Linda.
see, did you see this picture?
Oh, that is so sweet.
My precious baby. And did you see this woman is a photographer? If you want me to send you her info.
Oh, yeah, send me that. I love that.
Isn't that cute? And then this one of my angel.
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh,
I don't think Jack is doing well. I'm going to tell you guys, he's just very flatline.
he's missing Lulu.
And he's limping a lot. Then he doesn't limp. Then he limps a lot. What's that about?
Well, he's getting older, but they
But he's
grieve.
younger. You're younger than Lulu.
But when they grieve, they tend to get sick or they just don't feel well.
Yeah.
Lucky's kind of limping too. She'll be 10.
Yeah.
And she's slowing down a lot. She's been hiding a lot. She's eating, but she's just hiding.
Well,
Gary
when
said, when I
they
went to,
hide, there's usually something going on. Same thing
oh,
with him. He's hiding.
yep.
He don't
Gary
ever
said,
come out of the bedroom.
Gary said that when I was gone, that's all she did was mope around. So she went by our friend's house because she loves to go there for 2 or 3 days, and that perked her up. So,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Oh,
take her back.
Jack was so happy to see Jacob yesterday and cousin Scott, but after that he just went back in the bedroom.
Yeah, that's what Lucky does. She gets real excited, and then but they're getting older and they don't have the energy they used to have. So maybe that
But
has something to do with it.
I'm telling you, he really took a turn after she died.
Oh yeah, they do grieve.
She was still happy go lucky, eating like a horse. She was still great, but they said when it turns, because she wasn't able to pass out,
It'll be like that.
it'll be like that.
Um, that's why when people rehome dogs, they don't realize that dogs grieve. Dogs have emotion. And so
I
and they
once
want
had
to,
a, I'm sorry about that, but I once had parakeets,
oh yeah, they do too.
probably 20 of them. They were all family, and I couldn't keep all of them. So I got rid of most of them except a few. And those few sat up on the door and stared where the cage was with the other ones and wouldn't leave.
Yeah, birds are smart. They do grieve. Anyway, so Lulu and Mew says, hi, Linda and Mel. What is the last straw that ends this nightmare administration?
Oh, I wish we had the magic number. Well, fortunately, that dream I had, that lucid dream I had, boy, were they right. That I saw Trump and I could hear as clear as day. He wanted this Iran thing over with. He wanted
Well,
the strait to open. He was not going to bomb them. He was what he tells the public and what he's really saying behind closed doors was not. He wanted, and that's what he did. They pushed this to the side. Everybody's mad, but let me tell you, he wants this over with. He wished he hadn't opened that door.
his bullying blew up in his face, didn't it?
Yeah. But
Uh,
see, he thought he could come in like Venezuela.
Absolutely. It's like Dr. Lena Rodriguez said. Um, Trump, I don't even know if it's one big thing, but it's just everything he's doing is chipping away at him and his supporters piece by piece.
Yeah.
And that's how I perceive it playing out. So I don't think it's one big thing. I think it's a whole group of things.
Right. And by the way, everybody, I just reposted on my community part of my page um, uh, some information coming out about fraudulent ballots with the Thomas Massey.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, what are they saying?
They're saying that all of a sudden out of the blue came these 50 ballots that you go just read it. Go to my community page.
So are you intuiting a recount or an
Something's going to happen with that Massey thing. We knew
of course,
Kamala won because it's just the proof was in the pudding. Look at her events she had. She didn't have to pay nobody to come.
exactly. My feeling is they cheated. And when I heard that Massey didn't win, I was like, wait a minute, there's something not right here. Um, I see it going to court. It could go as high as the Supreme Court. Um, I'm just ultimately seeing another primary there to see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think Massey's out yet,
I
but
don't
we'll see.
either.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your turn.
So, our it's Raider. How many months will we need to stockpile water, food, medical supplies?
Um, boy, I don't. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm not seeing
Armageddon.
this Armageddon, thank you, this catastrophe that a lot of other people are predicting.
Well, the Mormon Church teaches you to always have a good supply. They're one of they always think in terms of what if something happens.
Well, I mean, it never hurts to have a supply of stuff like, dried beans and things like that and edibles. I don't mean those kind of edibles. I mean non-perishables. But then, and keep your gas grill stocked up because you're going to have a place to cook it. But
Yeah.
I am not running to the store stocking up on stuff. I'm just not. I'm not seeing this Armageddon that people are worried about.
Yeah, but maybe not in Chicago. I live in earthquake area.
Well, I mean, I
And
think that,
we could very easily be down, 2 weeks or so.
well, I think what the person is referring to is probably um, more like, almost like a apocalypse or something. That's how
Yeah.
I read into it. And I just don't see anything
I don't
apocalyptic.
see an apocalypse either.
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you what was close to an apocalypse is what's going on down in Southern California with that factory that's leaking, and they make in Oxnard, and they're making everybody move the hell away. That's hella scary, but I don't see a huge explosion.
Nor do I. But I do see legislation passed in California to prevent that from happening again. And even if
Yeah,
they take it to the federal government, the courts will say, you cannot put people in harm's way. So,
yeah.
I see a
So
comeback.
you do what you feel you should do. Especially if you got a place like I have a shed out there, I've got a lot of what do you call them? Almost like military grade food that you can put water in. I've
Right.
got a lot of water I stock up on. The thing is, you got to keep an eye on the date that it expires. So
Because it does have expiration dates.
yeah,
And so, I'm not saying don't do it. Am I doing it? No.
yeah. Okay, here we go.
All right, Kathy Reagans. Welcome back, Auntie Mel. Hello, Linda. I hope you had a wonderful trip in Europe. My question is, do you see the IRS agreement with Trump that they will never audit him or his family's business in the future?
It's going to be dropped down, and they're going to do it by just what Andrew Weissman said, collusion. This was made by collusion, and it's totally illegal. So if for a minute he may think, "Oh yeah, we got it made." They're going to flip that around.
If he tries that and it goes to the Supreme Court, they will not even agree with him on that.
No, they
They're going to
won't.
say nobody's above the law.
Right.
And and he is not.
Even though they told him he was above the law.
He's exactly, but he's not immune from audits, no.
Yeah.
But he
Um,
might say it was presidential, but we all know it was personal. So there you go. All right.
and don't worry, you guys. I really see them holding off being able to give him that slush fund.
So do I. Absolutely. In his ballroom, They're suing, some people are suing for it to continue, the construction to continue. I have never seen that ballroom completed. I don't see it
I don't see
completed.
it completed.
In fact, the work they've done, I see a rose garden put there again. So there you go.
Oh, here's some good news. Saudi Arabia refuses to allow Israel to purchase lands in the country and impose restrictions on entry.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. So where do you want to go?
All right. Cindy says, hi, Mel and Linda. Are the Republicans finally going to turn on Trump regarding the J6 slush fund?
Yeah, they're turning on him now.
Exactly. That's what I see too. All right.
And by the way, they're furious at him for putting Paxton in there
Oh, I know.
because they like that other guy. And it's like, why would you put a sex offender? Why would you put someone like him with his record and ruin for us even to get the Republicans back in there?
Well, Paxton in Texas was, accused of all kinds of misconduct. And I have
And he
predicted
stole
that.
money. Yeah.
Yes, and I have predicted, my guides have shown me as well as you have, that he is going to, have to pay the piper. In other words, I see him under investigation, and I've always seen him under indictment and in jail. So he's not going to last in this position. It's just another thing that Trump did. Let me look at Tulsi Gabbard resigning. I know they say her husband was sick,
They
but
said she resigned, but there's really a question mark.
that's right.
Because it makes sense. She's the type, if she was going along in this administration, she would have said, it's terrible he has cancer, but I'm not going to stay home and take care of him.
Right. But I see there were things behind the scenes. I think she was told to resign.
Yeah.
So
So
that
it's whose turn is it? Me?
yours.
Will the military say enough is enough and stop following illegal orders from Donald Trump?
Some will, but not all. Uh, and those that are would be court-martialed or face court-martial because they refuse to obey an illegal order, even if they are court-martialed, once we get a new president in who's not part of the Cheeto-leaning regime, that president would then issue pardons to all of them and say you have to reinstate them into the military. That's
Yeah,
that's
and I see a lot of military generals that Hedgehog got rid of coming back.
absolutely. All right. I love this name.
What?
Every time I hear it, it cracks me up. Dehydrated water sale. Could you imagine a sign? We have dehydrated water on
And it's
sale.
for sale.
And people would probably buy it.
Yeah,
Couldn't you imagine an empty bottle that's called dehydrated water?
yeah, yeah.
All right. Kevin Warsh has been appointed to a 4-year term as chairman of the Federal Reserve. So he'll serve until 2030. How will his policies affect the U.S. economy, stock market, and financial institutions? My guides tell me 2 words,
What?
not well. I don't think he's going to do
Is he
that.
going to follow what
Oh,
Trump
yeah,
wants him to do?
absolutely. And bringing down interest rates really low, people might think is good, but you got to be careful with that because that can cause inflation. And I
Right.
keep seeing this country, we're already in inflation. I see recession. I don't see a depression. But as far as price hikes are concerned, you ain't seen nothing yet.
It's
And here's the
terrible.
deal. Even with lower interest rates and the price hikes, who's going to be able to afford to buy a new house because $5 is going to get you much less of a candy bar.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how I
Oh,
see it.
remember when candy bars were a quarter and they were big old ass candy bars?
I just had a flash that Warsh will not finish out his full term as chairperson of the Federal Reserve. And
Oh,
ultimately, I see a woman in that position.
so maybe the current administration is being taken down and they are able to get their people in there.
Bingo. Or Trump will get mad at him and get rid of him.
Wayne Bottomley says, "Will something be done to stop Elon Musk from rigging the midterms?"
Well, he's tried to put his 2 cents worth or millions in, like in Wisconsin, and that smacked him in the face, didn't it?
Yeah, and
Um,
Michigan, they're finding out he really rigged Michigan.
and he's going to try it again. But my guides tell me, yes, he'll try it again, but he will not succeed. And once Cheetolini and his regime are out, I see investigations that will show that he engaged in illegal activity, and he's going to have to pay the price for that.
Oh, listen, I see them pulling all those contracts, all that stuff that makes them money. I see them yanking them all out.
All of those internet satellite contracts, that whatever it is, I mean, all of those contracts, and a lot of other countries won't want to do business with them either because they don't want him interfering in their elections.
Exactly.
So there you go. All right, I think it's your turn.
No, didn't I just do
No,
the,
I asked about Kevin Warsh.
oh, okay. I don't know what's up. F45 is meddling with banks. Will our savings accounts be safe?
Yeah, I'm not worried about the savings accounts. I mean, I don't see the banks going under. I mean, I do see legislation coming futuristically, so people get a credit card and on the first year it's zero APR, and then they crank it up to 40%.
Oh, yeah.
I see legislation coming to prevent that.
Yeah.
So, and if you cancel a credit card, it brings down your credit score. And I see laws being passed in the future that if you cancel a credit card because you don't want to do business with that bank anymore, that they can't bring down your credit score.
Okay. Unless the bank closes it. But
Right. But if your credit score comes down, then what happens is, I mean, what happens is if you cancel a credit card, it brings your credit score down. And then what happens is all the other credit card people crank up your interest rates.
yeah, of course.
So I see legislation coming to prevent that.
Yes. Yes.
In other words, the brakes putting on these out of control banks.
Right. Right.
Okay. Glinda Holloway Bradley says, what is happening with Indiana refinery oil? But the British, as the workers, are still on strike. How much longer?
I don't know anything about that.
I don't either. I don't know if it's Indiana or India. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'll check into it, but
Yeah, we'll check into it, sweetie. So, Kara said, I was talking to a neighbor last week and I was telling him how there are way more casualties in the US casualties in the Iran war than being reported. And he responds to me by saying, then why aren't those families coming forward?
well, I do believe that there are a lot more casualties than what they're reporting.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I also feel the families are sort of being threatened or put
right.
on hold. Like
I
the
think
one that allegedly her son was shot down and they saved him. He dragged himself into a cave. She's never heard from him.
right because he didn't drag himself into a cave.
Yeah.
I think, behind the scenes, a lot of them are crying out, but a lot of the media won't pick it up. But I'll tell you how it's gonna come out is going to be on social media platforms and independent media, like on platforms like YouTube and Midas Touch and things like that.
Right.
So,
Okay. Ask me a question.
Melinda Anderson says, "Hi Mel, can you share the highlights of your trip?" It was all wonderful. For me, the highlight was this thing called Bavaria Live. We're in this little town called Passau, Germany, and you could pay extra. And we went to for a real German pub, not touristy, and they had a three-piece Oompa band, and they were playing all the German folk songs, and we all got free beer. Well, me, like 5 beers later, I was up doing the polka, singing German folk songs. It didn't matter if you knew the words. We had a ball. It was so much fun. That was
That's good.
totally a highlight. So.
Okay. There was a real good question here. Oh, is Louisiana going to be successful in recalling the governor?
Ooh, I didn't know they were trying.
This is the governor that gave Tina Peters a reprieve. Remember, he said she could come out of jail.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
they're furious about it.
I see a recall.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm feeling it big time. Isn't it crazy? It takes, of all the corruption and graft and a grifter, it's something like that that really gets people riled.
Well, and he's a Democrat.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Well, if he was a Democrat, he should be held responsible.
I know he will be too. He will be too. I don't know if they're going to get him out. I'm not feeling yes right away,
Well,
but we'll
but the
see.
recall doesn't mean they necessarily have to win. I do see a
Right.
recall.
Because, they tried to recall Newsom 3 or 4 times.
Didn't work. All right. Um, Anna Gia says, "Hello, Linda and Mel. Welcome back. When will oversight restrictions be implemented on the AI data centers springing up in many states that consume vast amounts of states' water supply? Taxpayers should not be stuck paying for this. Unfortunately, they are. And, once Trump is gone, I see environmental impact statements coming out saying how damaging it is. And there's going to be a big public outcry about it. So I
And
see
a
let
lot of corporations that thought, yeah, we'll get rid of all these bottom feeders and get rid of all these employees and only use AI. They're regretting it now.
that's right. That's right. So I see legislation being passed to restrict um, how many AI centers can go up.
Yeah.
So
So, Hedgehog gave a speech at West Point where he talked about being on God's mission and quoting Charlie Kirk, the slain cult leader. How did the cadets feel? Were the majority appalled or did they eat it up?
I hear that the majority were appalled.
That's what I'm feeling. I just like when he had all those generals in that room.
They're like, we're happy that we're cadets at West Point. It's an honor. You have to have like five brains to get there. I mean, it's really prestigious. But, he thinks they're stupid and, they're way too smart to buy into that.
Yeah.
So, on the trip, there was some people there, not in my group, but, there was a young man and the guy who tended to my cabin, he was 27 or 28. Hi, Milo. She was wonderful. And he and I were talking. He said, yeah, the younger guy on the trip said that his family's for Trump and that Trump was doing such wonderful things. And I looked at Milosh, I said, ask them if they've been to the grocery store lately. Ask them if they filled their gas tank lately. I don't know what planet they're on, Milosh, but they're not on the planet Earth because 70 or 75% of us, we see the truth. And
Yeah.
ask them if they like the Kool-Aid. So,
Yeah. And ask them how they feel about a pedophile running the show.
exactly. And by the way, most of the Europeans that I ran into, many of them, I would say almost not all, but a huge majority, they like Americans. They do not like Donald Trump. And they
I
said
remember when Bush got in for the second term, we had friends that had gone to Europe, and the Europeans were telling them, what does America do? Why would you be so stupid to vote that man in again?
pretty much. It's funny in Hungary, when I'd gone there before, the Hungarians are friendly, but it was almost kind of like the energy that we have in America today. When I was just there, people were energized, they were electric, they were happy because they got rid of Viktor Orban. And many of them reassured me that the same thing would happen in America, that we would band together and make sure that Trump is out and that this never happens again.
Right.
So that was a big message I got on that trip.
Um, will the Capitol Police officers be successful in their lawsuit against Trader's slush fund?
Wait, read that again. I'm sorry.
Will the Capitol Police officers be successful in their lawsuit against the Trader's slush fund? Remember, he's going to give money to the people that assaulted the police.
I see the Capitol Police winning that case.
I do too.
Um, he's just doing that to dangle a carrot to keep them on his side. Not the Capitol Police, but the people that he wanted to give money to from the slush fund. But we both know that when Donald Trump releases money. Never happens.
Yeah,
Even if he says he's going to, it never happens, and we know where that money goes.
exactly.
And it ain't into the economy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so here again, Paul tells San Diego is asking if democracy will be tested with the Constitutional Convention. Now, Paul tells said there's only 6 states left to approve it. As of yesterday, there was only 14 left. So I still don't see a constitutional convention. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
All right.
Will there be any new updates on finding Nancy Guthrie's body?
Well, I think
I've always felt like they would find something.
they're still looking, but it's gonna be a bit of time before they find anything.
I mean, they'll get a bone that they can do a little DNA on.
Right. Or a piece of clothing or something.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Giga Hellblaze said, and I heard about this when I was overseas. What is going, a question I hope you can both answer. What's going on with the Japanese shrines burning across the nation? Is it arson? And if so, who or what is behind it? It's been going on since January, and many have stood for hundreds of years and have irreplaceable artifacts. I see it's arson, and I see that a group of fascists that is doing it.
I haven't even heard of it.
This is like the third or fourth time I've heard of it. So,
Wow.
yep.
I was just watching some program where they talked about, did you know the military was stationed in China?
No, I did
U.S.
not.
military was stationed in China to keep Japan from trying to go in and take over?
Yes, during the war, yes.
Yeah.
And before the war, because what happened was Japan invaded China.
Yes.
Back then, they were pretty brutal to the Chinese, so we had troops there to try to push Japan out.
Yeah. Um, did the orange one have a health event in the past couple of days?
I think within the past month, he has.
Right. And by the way, that assassin, the guy they shot, that wasn't staged. That guy's just a whack job.
Right.
And he was nowhere close to being towards Trump, who
No,
tried to use his excuse to get his ballroom done.
exactly. Exactly. Um, but I see what Trump is kind of almost like with Mitch McConnell, that he's going to keep having health events one after the other.
Yeah,
And sooner or later, it's going to leak. So
right.
there you go. Um, Maple Squirrel says, was Trump put in this position in order to destroy the US so they can be rescued by another country or other entity? No, I don't see
No,
that.
he can't think that far ahead.
No, he's not smart enough for that.
Catherine wants a UK question, if that's okay.
That's fine.
Our prime minister be replaced in the next few months? Will our prime minister be replaced in the next few months?
When this prime minister took over, my guides had shown me that he wouldn't be prime minister for a long period of time, and that I saw him removed by election or whatever, however it is they do it there. So I'm going to say the answer is yes. I don't know if it's within a few months, but I think maybe within 5 or 6 months. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm picking up.
Okay, go ahead.
That's it. That's what I get.
Oh, no, read the question.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you pick up on it?
I don't, I feel the prime minister, but will be replaced.
That's what I feel. All right. Sue A says, hi, Linda and Mel. Did Trump really talk with Iran on Saturday?
He
No.
never talks to anybody.
For
He
about
always has other people talking.
for about 5 seconds. I love the memes that Iran is putting up. It's hysterical.
And even with this thing, he said, everybody says, I just want you to know there is no conclusive agreement with the United States.
Right. All right. Beth Rankin says, welcome back, Mel and Linda. We missed you. Hi. Hello, Beth. Okay. Lisa Corcoran says, I love Mondays. You two are the best. Thank you.
Ah,
Okay. Here's one. Peace and Love says, infinite possibility. Will we win the House and Senate and place our people because cheating isn't enough for some Republicans? Not will we win, but will our people be placed so we have the majority in both? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I
Absolutely, yes.
I see our people placed in a majority in both.
Yeah.
Uh, Trump is doing everything to try to stop it, but it's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Georgianne wants to know what's the real reason Trump's didn't go to his son's wedding?
I didn't know anything about it, to be honest
Yeah,
with
his son was getting married in the Caribbean. And
you.
people are saying the Caribbean doesn't allow convicted felons to come into the country, president or no president.
You know what I picked up is the people in Caribbean didn't want him there.
That's what I'm getting too.
Right. Now watch. Next thing he'll do is he'll want to declare war on some of those island countries in the Caribbean. How much you want to
Oh, Jesus.
bet?
So go ahead. You gotta,
Um, well, Carol Hooper asked, how responsible is the U.S. for the attack on 911? But I don't like to get in conspiracy theory or
yeah,
anything like that. You know, the bottom line is some very dear friends of mine lost their daughter, and some friends of mine lost people in that attack. And I just think the United States got caught with its pants down. That's what I think, due to poor intelligence and all that. And they had been warned that something like that was going to happen.
yeah.
You know, intelligence had warned the government at that time, but they just ignored it. And that was under George W. Bush,
I know it's just terrible.
right? Or George,
Then
yeah,
he used it to go and hit Iraq and weapons of mass destruction.
which
It
they
was,
did not have. It's almost the same rhetoric as Iran. Well, they've got nuclear weapons. The word is nuclear, Donald, not
yeah,
nuclear. And now all of a sudden, remember when he did that first strike? Well, we've taken out their nuclear capability. And now all of a sudden, well, we have to make sure that to keep the world safe from their
yeah. But
nuclear.
now they're coming to an agreement and they're going to talk about nukes later.
Right, exactly. He didn't wipe anything out. It's all a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah, yeah,
The same as the reason that W went into, you know, attacked Iraq.
yeah. Is it your turn or my turn?
Years.
Did Trump have a medical event over the weekend where Vance was called to the White House? Did you see Vance with lights went back to the White? Everybody, all of them came back to the White House. And somebody did a memes with his his car going with all the cars with the lights flashing, and they said JD Vance is heading to Ashley's big sale event. So,
Oh,
but what was that really about? Why did everybody have to meet at the White House? I think it's something to do with this Iran thing.
so do I. I don't think it had to do with Trump's help.
No.
I'm surprised that JD Vance could find his way to the White House.
Now you go ahead.
All right. Uh, Emmett Young says, please tell us what's happening with the Straits of Hormuz. Yeah, we'd all like to know that one. Will there be food shortages in the US and Canada? Thank you. I don't see food shortages. I see higher prices and
Yeah,
price gouging because they'll blame it on the Straits of Hormuz.
yeah,
Everything is going to get blamed now on the Straits of Hormuz. How much you want to bet?
yeah. People will be making money.
Exactly. And who's making money on this? The politicians are.
Exactly. Oh,
And
here's a good question. Will CBS suffer a ratings drop after canceling Stephen Colbert?
huge.
I feel I'm not going to watch CBS for nothing.
Me either. And you know what else is going to happen because they have Barry Weiss as the head of the news and that she's a Trumpster. People aren't watching the CBS News any longer.
Because
And
anything to do with Trump is a lie.
people aren't going to watch. And they're going to wonder what happened.
Yeah,
And you know, uh, Trump is not certainly going to uh, give them any financial help because it was his directive. He's the one that wanted them to get rid, of the one that resigned. And I think he pushed them, put Barry Weiss in. But yet he's not going to give them any financial help. That's for sure.
Exactly.
They're going to be in big financial trouble. I'm telling you.
That's great.
The same as Fox will be.
Okay, so you got a question?
Um, let's see here. Um, Lisa Skaggs says, "Hi, Mel and Linda. Do you see a presidential run in 2028 for Governor Andy Beshear in Kentucky? I live among the cult and it gets worse every day. Should we be stockpiling food and water for what's ahead?" Well, we've answered the stockpiling food and water. I see Andy Beshear talking about put his hat in the ring, but I don't see him as a candidate. Andy Beshear is a Democratic governor of Kentucky,
Yeah,
and he's an excellent governor, by the way.
exactly.
But in the future, I see when a Democratic president takes office, they will offer Bashir a nice spot in presidential cabinet. I don't know how it works in Kentucky anymore, how many terms a governor can have down there, but I do think they have term limits. So,
Okay. Who
he should
who
run for the
will
Senate.
who will win to be Alabama's next governor? Tommy Tuberville or Doug Jones?
Um, I think it'll go to a Republican. Sorry.
So that's Tuberville. Doug
But
Jones is a Democrat.
I could be wrong,
I'm
and
going to look with my cards.
I'm all for the Democrat, but
Because Alabama, I saw that Sarah Huckabee winning her. Well, no, so no, is she in Alabama? She's in
no,
Alabama.
she's no, 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 no. She's not in Alabama. She's in wait. Where Bill Clinton is from. Not Alabama. Oh,
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Thank you.
Now, see, my cards say Jones can win.
Well, good. I hope I'm wrong. And I'll pray that I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to stand up and say I'm
Now,
wrong.
there's some people there who would do cheating,
Exactly. At least they'll get rid of that governor they got now. Oh my God, she's horrid.
but they both got bad cards, so we'll see what happens.
Right. Um, But Bashir, what I was going to say is I got a funny feeling at some point he might run for U.S. Senate for the state of Kentucky. And if he does, he'll win.
I think there's rumor that he's doing that.
Oh, I didn't know that. But if he
Yeah.
does, he'll win. So good. I mean, he's very good with emergencies. He's been very good for the state. Um, so, hmm.
And did you hear Trump has okay? Well, I got to double check it. Hold on. Let me double check it before I say anything.
um,
Did Donald Trump do an executive action allowing poison to be used to get rid of animals so they can drill on national park land?
I'm sure.
There's a real issue underneath the viral claims, but some of the wording online is exaggerated. What appears to have happened is that Trump administration recently reversed or weakened a Biden-era restriction on using M44 cyanide bombs on some federal public land managed by the Bureau of Land Management. These devices eject sodium cyanide to kill predators such as coyotes. It was not an executive order specifically saying poison animals so they can drill. The issue involves BLM public lands, not necessarily America's national parks like Yellowstone or Yosemite. The policy change appears tied to predator control and wildlife management, not directly to oil drilling.
That's a crock of BS. I'm going to tell you why. Because
Why?
sodium cyanide, it kills indiscriminately.
Yeah.
Okay. And for Donald Trump wanting to drill for oil, how about let's look for alternate energy sources, stop raping the environment, but
Oh, he doesn't care.
who again is getting their palms greased? He is.
He is. He always is.
But the good news is there'll be such an outcry about it, it won't last long and it will be stopped. And my advice to anybody is boycott those products. Don't buy the products of any oil company who, is behind it.
So can you pray for Nicole? She's got a temp of 102.
Ooh,
She said she just coughed up 3 oysters out of her lungs.
um, my
She's
feeling
not well.
is,
She has what Jaden had last week.
my feeling is it'll take her about a week and a half to feel better. Um, but with what's going on with her lungs, maybe she should go to the hospital and get like a breathing treatment, you know,
Yeah.
uh, because you don't want to run the risk of that going into pneumonia. Nicole, I love her, but I mean, will she do it? Will she go and get the treatment, or do you think so?
If you need to go to the clinic or ER, please
Go.
do go.
Right.
She doesn't have any insurance,
Uh, okay, but
so
still,
I'll pay for it.
you know what? Just go.
Go. It's more
I remember
important.
years ago, I didn't have insurance and I went to the county hospital and I got a bill from a collection agency for $800 before I got a bill from the hospital. I called the hospital. I go, what's going on? We don't know. I called the collection agency. We don't know. I'm like, well, who do I
Where did the
pay?
collection agency get the bill from?
I guess the hospital, but nobody knew. So I'm like, well, who do I pay? So I didn't pay. And I never heard a word. So
Did it affect your credit rating?
no, it's illegal in Illinois.
Oh,
If you have something wrong with your health and you go to a hospital, they cannot put it on your credit score. And I think it might be the same in California.
oh,
So, so tell her to go to the ER and
yeah,
worry about paying later.
yeah.
And if she, a lot of times what can happen, there are social workers there who can try to get you Obamacare or Medicaid or Medi-Cal or whatever.
Actually, I think she's on Medicaid.
Then she's okay. Tell her to go to the ER.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think she's going to be okay, but I think this is going to take a while
she's gonna be okay, but I want her to go get that breathing treatment so it doesn't
with
go
a
into pneumonia.
nebulizer. Yeah.
Correct.
I gave her my breathing machine, but she just needs the stuff that goes inside.
Right. Um,
So,
but she'll get through this. But tell her if she needs anything, give me a call. If you need anything, give me a call. I love Nicole. I can't let anything happen to my Nicole.
yeah, yeah. So, you guys please say a little prayer for her. She
Healing
was going to do
energy.
the prayers, but she can't do them now, obviously.
No. Healing energy being sent.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you. So, we'll close out right now so I can get a hold of her and encourage her to go, even if I have
Tell
to
her I
drive out
said.
there.
And tell her she doesn't, she will need surgery to get my foot out of her rear end. All
Yeah, she's really sick, poor thing. I better call over there.
right, sweetie. I love you if you
All
need
right.
something.
Thank you, you guys. And we'll see you next Monday.
Androniki, give us a call. Try his
And
product.
hopefully, good news that Nicole will be better by next week.
Yes. All
Bye,
right.
you guys. Thank you.